All right, so today we're moving into graphing ratio tables. So the other day we talked about ratio tables themselves and how to solve them and fill them out and how they work. So remember, we always multiply and divide and all that. Well, with graphing them, you start with filling out the ratio table and then you go to graph. So the graph we're going to be using is called a coordinate plane. Okay, this is formed when two perpendicular number lines. What that means is perpendicular means when they intersect like that. Okay, so that's two perpendicular lines intersecting at 0 points. This point right here, okay, that's the origin. Okay, that's where they intersect at 0, 0 point is called the origin. Now the horizontal line, the one going from left to right, is the x-axis. The vertical one goes up and down, that's the y-axis. So an ordered pair, which I'll be saying a lot, so this is what an ordered pair looks like right here. 2, 3. It's got to have the parentheses around the 2. That's how you write an ordered pair. It's got to be said that way. Is a pair of numbers used to locate a point on the coordinate plane. Okay, so we write ordered pairs just like this to talk about a point on the graph. So now we're going to go ahead and label this. All right, so the vertical line right here, up and down, that's called the y-axis. Okay, this entire thing is called the coordinate plane. Okay, this point right here, where they intersect, this point right there is called the origin. Okay, basically where it begins. Okay, and then this horizontal one going left to right, that's the x-axis. And this right here, our point on our graph, is called an ordered pair. Okay, so that's how those are set up. That's a coordinate plane. That's how they're labeled. That's how we're going to read them. You'll always start with the x and then work your way towards the y. So we always go left to right first, up and down next. So now, real world length. It says in 3 minutes, a North American wood turtle can travel about 17 yards. So if it says that if the x-axis represents minutes, okay, and the y-axis represents yards, and they want us to write an ordered pair for this. Well, if minutes is x, that's 3. If yards is y, that's 17. Okay, so let's go ahead and go on to the next page. We're going to talk about how to actually graph tables now. So graphing ordered pairs. This is how this works. Okay, you can use an ordered pair to name any point on the coordinate plane. The first number in an ordered pair is the x-coordinate. It's talking about the x-axis, the number on the x-axis. The second number is the y-coordinate. Okay, that's the number that's showing you up and down. Okay, on the y-axis. So in this case, we have 3, 6. 3 is your x-coordinate, 6 is your y-coordinate. Okay? Okay, you can express information in a table as a set of ordered pairs. To see patterns, you're going to graph these ordered pairs on the coordinate plane. All right, so example number 1. It says the table shows the cost in dollars to create CDs of digital photos at a photo shop. The table also shows this information as ordered pairs. So they already gave it to you. Our x is number of CDs. Our y is cost in dollars. So if you look, here's our table. We have our x, we have our y. We can turn this into an ordered pair just by writing our x and then our y right here. 1, 3, 2, 6, 3, 9. Okay, now that we have these right here, these 3, we can graph these. So when you graph on a coordinate plane, you always start at 0, 0. This is always your starting point. That's why they call it the origin. You always start there. Okay, and then you start with your x and then your y. So we're going to go over to the right to 1, go up to 3. There's our first point. Okay, our second point was 2, 6. So we go over to 2, go up to 6. Next one, 3, 9. So go over to 3, up to 9. Measure the last point. Okay. Now, the second part of this, they want you to describe the pattern in the graph. So if we're looking at these 3 points, okay, you could say that they form a line. If you connected the dots, it would form a line. So the points appear in a line. Each point is 1 unit to the right and 3 units up. So basically what that means is that the cost increases by $3 every time. So we just go over 1, so another CD, I'm gonna go up $3. So every time you buy a new CD or add a CD to your collection, you're spending an extra $3 for this situation. Okay, so we're gonna skip this part, we're gonna go over a couple pages. We're gonna go to page 51. Okay, we're gonna do number 1 together, all right? So the table shows the total time it took Samir to read 0, 1, 2, and 3 pages of the book. Okay, the table also lists information as ordered pairs. So number of pages is our x-coordinate. That's what's gonna be our x-axis. Okay, total minutes is our y. So that's how we set it up. So they've already done the table for you. So we have our number of pages, which is our x. We have our total minutes, which is y, and they already put it in ordered pairs for you. So all we have to do now is take those ordered pairs and graph them. So like I said, whenever you start on an ordered or a coordinate plane, this graph here, always start at 0, 0. So we're gonna start here. Well, our first point is 0, 0. So we're gonna put it right there. Okay, the next one is 1, 4. So it's gonna be about right there. Right, and then the next one, 2, we go, start here at 0, 0, 1, 2, up to 8. So about right there. And then our last one is 3, 12. So we go over to 3, up to 12. So about right in that ballpark. Okay, now we have to describe the graph. Okay, so when looking at this, we can say, if we connected these dots, are they going to form a line? Yes, they're going to form a line because once you connect them, that's a straight line. There's no going all like a lightning bolt. There's no going up and down. It's not zigzag. It's straight line. So it forms a line. Okay, and then what else can be said is it says that the graph shows Samir read 1 page every 4 minutes. And the reason we know this, okay, if you look, if we started at 0, 0, we go over to 1 page, well, that was 4 minutes. If we go over to another page, well, we went up to 8, so that's another 4 minutes. So it's a pattern, okay? So that's basically what you guys are trying to find is a pattern. What is the thing that's happening over and over and over again? In this case, every time he read a page, he spent 4 more minutes. Okay, so that's how these work. That's what the goal is today, is to be able to read, to set up your table, graph it, and then read it. Okay? So let's go back, and you guys are going to do A and B down at the bottom of page 48. So I want you to pause the video, just like we've done in the past. Go ahead and do A and B. So A is just graphing the pairs, B is describing the graph. And they've already done the table for you, so that's a lot of extra work that you don't have to do. They just want you to graph it and then describe the graph. So go ahead and pause the video and then come back and we'll go through this together. All right, now that you're back, let's go through letters A and B. So the table shows Gloria's earnings for 1, 2, and 3 hours. The table also lists this information as ordered pairs. So we have hours for X, earnings for Y. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3 for hours, 5, 10, 15 for dollars. Okay? Then we have our ordered pair. So the first one's 1, 5. So like I said, I always start at 0, 0. Always start at 0, 0. And then we're going to graph them. So 1, 5, maybe. So 1, 5. I don't know what's going on with this. So 1, 5. 1. Sorry guys, my board is not wanting to cooperate with me. So now, first point, 1, 5. So we go to 0, 0, go over to 1, go up to 5, because remember 5 is our y. It goes always go up and down for y, left and right for x. So our next one's 2 10. So we go over 2, go 10, but not. And last one's 3 15. So we go 3 and 15. Okay, so now we have to describe the graph. Well, does it form a straight line? Yes, it does. So now what this means is that Gloria, so for every hour Gloria works, she earns $5 per hour. So you're basically describing the rate. That's what the pattern is. It's a rate. So in this case, she makes $5 per hour. That's how you describe that. So for every hour she works, she makes another $5. Okay? All right, let's go on page 49. Now, same thing, still compare, we're going to be doing ratio tables, but now we're going to compare two different quantities. Okay? So, two friends are making scrapbooks. Renee places 4 photos on each page of her scrapbook. Gina places 6 photos on each page of her scrapbook. So it says make a table for each scrapbook and do 1, 2, 3, and 4 pages. So Renee's scrapbook is right here. So what you would do, your axis is pages. So you would put 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if she's doing 4 photos on each page, that's your rate. You're going up by 4 each time. So 1 page would be 4, 2 pages would be 8 altogether, 3 would be 12, and here's your ordered pairs. Well, now Gina's scrapbook is over here. So she's doing 6 photos per page. So that's what hers is going to look like. All right, so then once you complete your tables, you can then graph them. You can graph your ordered pairs. So if you look, they did Renee with blue and Gina with red. Okay, now that they graphed them, now we're going to compare. So it says, how does the ratio of photos to each page compare for each person? Well, Renee's scrapbook would be 4 photos per page. Her ratio would be 4 to 1. Gina's scrapbook would be 6 to 1 because she's putting 6 pages on each, or 6 pictures on each page. So on the graph, both sets of points appear to be in a straight line, but the line for Gina is steeper because she's putting more pictures on each page. Okay, that's why it's steeper. So that's how you compare them. Okay, you write down the ratios. So we have 4 to 1, 6 to 1, and then Gina's is a steeper line because her ratio is bigger. She's going up by a bigger rate. All right. So let's do one of these together. And we're going to go on to the next page, on page 50. All right, we're going to do number 1, then we're going to do number 2, and then we're going to do number 3 together. All right. So 2 friends are each saving money in their bank accounts. Marcus saves $10 each week, while David saves $15 each week. All right, make a table for each friend that shows the total amount saved for 1, 2, 3, and 4 weeks. All right, so they've already filled out the weeks for us because that was given. And remember, weeks represents our X. Total save, which is money, represents our Y. Okay, so Marcus saves $10 per week. So we're going to go ahead and fill this table in. So after 1 week, he has $10. Well, our ordered pair would be 1, 10. After 2 weeks, he would have $20. 2, 20. Remember, X, Y. It always goes X first, Y second. Always. It will never change. So 3, 30. And then 40 for the last one. So we got 4, 40. All right, so Marcus is done. Now we have to do David. Well, David saves $15 each week. So after 1 week, $15. 115. Remember, X, Y. Okay, then 2 weeks, we have $30. 3 weeks, we have 45. And remember, it's going up $15 each time. So then 4 weeks would be $60. All right, so now we have our tables filled out. So that was step 1. Step 2 is to then graph them using the ordered pairs we have in our tables. So we're going to start with Marcus. Okay, I'm gonna do red for Marcus. All right, so 1, 10. 2, so we go over to 2, go up to 20. Go over to 3, go up to 30. And go over to 4 and go up to 40. So that's Marcus. Now I'm gonna do David next in green. So David was $15 each week. So after 1 week he had $15. 2 weeks we had 30. 3 weeks we had 45. And then 4 weeks we had 60. So we have David, that's green. We have Marcus is that red. So if you look now at number 3, how do the ratios of Marcus's savings and David's savings compare? So we need to answer that. So to do that, we're going to talk about how it is. So David increases by $15 per week, which makes it steeper compared to, so it makes it steeper compared to Marcus's $10 per week. So David's would be 15 to 1, and Marcus's would be 10 to 1. And David's is going to be steeper because it's going up faster. So that's how you would describe these. Okay, so you're going to work on IXL for this one. It's going to be posted along with the video. But remember, watch the video first, take notes. You can do extra problems in the book. I don't need pictures or anything like that. That is just for you and extra practice. Those are not assigned. All of these in the book are not assigned. I just want you guys to do them for notes and extra practice. The homework will always be the IXLs. That was what it will be great. You guys need to do this though, because otherwise the IXLs are going to be very, very tough. This helps you prepare for the IXLs. So this is what you need to work on before you complete the IXL. So this is graphing ratio tables.